Thanks, Dan. Evening to you. Brighton are turning heads in a way that they haven't done in England's top division since Jimmy Melia's time as manager in the 1980s, when the Seagulls were a Gordon Smith finish away from lifting the FA Cup. Well, Graham Potter had impressed many in the game with his time coaching abroad long before his spell at Swansea that led to the offer to come here to Sussex, and his side could have gone top of the Premier League on Monday had they won at Palace. They didn't manage that, but the last gasp Neil Maupay equaliser certainly made it feel a little bit like victory against their bitter rivals, and they can go joint top tonight with a win to join Chelsea but go second on goal difference. 25 years ago this week, Arsene Wenger took the reins at Arsenal and embarked on that extraordinary period of sustained success. Now a quarter of a century on, the Gunners out of European competition for the first time since the Frenchman arrived in North London. But even without the extra stresses and strains that a European jaunt can put on a squad, Arsenal had that woeful start this season, losing 3 on the bounce, but no team has won their last 3 games in a row before today, as Mikel Arteta's men have done going into this one. Well, the aforementioned Neil Maupay was not only a tormentor-in-chief on Monday for Palace, but also on his last 2 starts for Brighton against Arsenal. Got the winner both times, and he leads the line in a team that shows one change from that 1-1 draw at Selhurst Park. There's a change in midfield. Danny Welbeck is injured. Jakub Moder, the Polish international, comes in to replace him. You might remember him scoring at Wembley against England. Robert Sanchez is the Brighton goalkeeper. Shane Duffy, Lewis Duncan, Dan Burn, 3 centre-halves. Joel Veltman, Pascal Gross, Adam Lallana and Marco Correa in front of that, and then Leandro Trossard and Jakub Moder in behind Neil Maupay up top. As for Arsenal, well, Ben White returns to the Amex tonight for the first time since his £50 million move to Arsenal in the summer. His return to the centre of defence has coincided with that 3-match winning run. Granit Xhaka out for a while with a knee injury picked up in the North London derby win against Spurs. His place goes to Albert Lokonga, so it's Aaron Ramsdale in goal. Takehiro Tomiyasu, Ben White, Gabriel and Kieran Tierney in a back 4. Thomas Partey and Albert Lokonga, they're the defensive midfielders. Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard and Emil Smith-Rowe in behind Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang up front. As for the benches, well, still no Yves Bissouma for Brighton. We'll get to that in a moment, because our referee this evening, John Moss, has gathered the players around the centre circle. And I think we're going to have a moment's reflection for the late great Roger Hunt of Liverpool, who sadly passed away this week. Liverpool's all-time league record goal scorer and a member of the 1966 World Cup squad. So we're ready for the off on TalkSport for another exclusive commentary on game day. Saturdays belong to us. Brighton are going to attack the south stand in this first half, where the Arsenal fans to our right are situated packing out that end. Brighton in their traditional blue and white striped shirts with blue shorts, white socks. Arsenal are in all light yellow as all players take the knee on the instruction of John Moss's whistle. And we're ready for the off here on TalkSport at the Amex. Alvin Martins alongside me. He's got his bubble hat on, keeping the rain off, because it is biblical here. Sure, you don't need me to tell you that, because it's been raining right around the country. Brighton get things underway, but quickly the ball's guided back by Ben White, back on his old stomping ground to his keeper Aaron Ramsdale, who looks, Alvin Martin, to have kept the number 1 jersey away from Bernd Leno for the short to medium term.
Yeah, and I think what he is, Ramsdale, he's somebody that I like in respect that he doesn't make a meal out of things. He's one that keeps the game simple. doesn't actually make a save unless he has to make a save. Some keepers do, they throw themselves around, and he's strong in all departments as well, Dan. So a steady influence at the back for Arsenal.
Bukayo Saka heading down the right hand side for Arsenal. Early on, steps inside, Dan Burn and into the box. It's a great run from Saka, and the left footed drive is straight at Sanchez, but early danger on the Arsenal right from the England star Bukayo Saka. 0-0.
Well, that's a duel that's going to have a bearing on the game, no doubt about it. Saka playing on that right hand side for Arsenal up against Dan Burn, who wants to get forward, he wants to travel and play in Arsenal's half. So there's going to be a real tactical battle between them two. The first battle has been won, a mini battle by Saka, cut inside on his left foot. Weak shot though.
Sanchez clears downfield for Brighton. It might drop for Neil Mopai. Lays it into midfield. Pascal Gross leaves it for Lallana, and an early touch for Joel Veltman on this near side for Brighton. Elects to send it back into his own half for Shane Duffy, and his old mate Lewis Dunk will work it back to Robert Sanchez. Right-footed clearance downfield. Trossard after this controls it on his thigh, but that allows Gabriel to get a touch in front of him as he's shoved to the ground by Trossard. Well, they both get to their feet at that far side of the ground, and it's cleared downfield by Gabriel. Aubameyang lets it skim off his chest. It's neatly done, and that allows Odegaard to swing it to the right-hand side just inside the Brighton half. And once again, Saka is trying to isolate Dan Burn. He's got Tomiyasu moving up on his right-hand side. The Japanese defender's been very impressive at right back since coming into the Arsenal side. Saka has possession again, just takes it down to walking pace. Trossard has stayed down on the far side of the field, and Arsenal aren't putting it out of play. Now they are. Kieran Tierney puts it out. It's not a head injury for Trossard, but Arsenal sportingly put the ball out of play. 0-0, 2 minutes gone, and Trossard's getting some treatment.
Yeah, he actually went in, I think it was Gabriel, and he ended up hitting himself. I thought it was a foul right in front of the referee's assistant in the bottom right-hand corner of the pitch there. He just waved play on, he cleared it, Arsenal, and had a pretty decent opportunity to maybe cause a problem. Certainly asked a question of the Brighton defence. In the end, they've knocked it out. Fair enough, sportsman and all that, but I'm sure that I might not have done that.
Yeah, you wouldn't have done that. Not in a million years. Let me run you through the subs. I didn't get the chance to do the subs benches for Brighton. Jason Steele is their sub-keeper. Tariq Lamptey, Aaron Connolly, Alexis McAllister, Solly March, Jurgen Locadia, Hayden Roberts, Taylor Richards and Jeremy Sarmiento are their subs. For Arsenal, Bernd Leno, Alexandre Lacazette, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Rob Holding, Cedric Suarez, Nicola Pepe, Nuno Tavares, Mo Elneny back in the squad, and Gabriel Martinelli. John Ross is the man in charge, and Chris Kavanagh's back at Stockley Park should VAR be needed tonight here. TalkSport in the Premier League on game day, 3 minutes gone, still waiting for play to restart. Trossard is now blocking his feet, just moving a little awkwardly towards this near touch line.
Yeah, he don't look too happy, does he? Doesn't look too comfortable. Well, sometimes them innocuous ones are the ones that cause you a problem, and he certainly looks like he's struggling with it. But look, going to make reference to the atmosphere here. From Graham Potter's point of view, this is what you want as a manager. You want to build momentum. You want to build a team where the crowd come in, they get excited about what they're looking at, and they've created a really good atmosphere. So it's a very important thing for Brighton and Graham Potter to take advantage of this. If they win this game, you know, it really is maybe a pivotal moment in the season for them.
Back underway on TalkSport. 4 minutes gone. Brighton 0, Arsenal 0. Arsenal attacking the North stand away to our left in this first half. Albert and I are sat in the West stand at the Amex Stadium, only 4 or 5 rows back from the dugouts, and we're getting soaked, but don't feel sorry for us. Ball's brought forward to Aubameyang, just inside the Brighton half. Lovely touch from Smith Rowe to send it out left. First time for Tierney, but he's closed down almost immediately by Veltman, who fouls him. So Arsenal get a free kick just over the halfway line, which Gabriel is going to leave for Thomas Partey to take. Partey actually rolls it back to Gabriel just inside his own half. Lokonga calling for it on this near touchline, but it's on the chest of Thomas Partey. Now Lokonga gets it. The one change made by Arsenal today, coming in for the injured Granit Xhaka, who's going to be out for a little while with a knee problem, but no surgery apparently required for Xhaka. Smith Rowe in the centre circle, looking to step away from Veltman. Now it's with Lokonga again. That's a Kieran Tierney on this near touchline, the Arsenal left. We're going to have a run at Veltman towards the byline. Good run from Tierney. Good cross as well, but headed away at the near post by Shane Duffy. Volleyed right up in the air by Lallana. And Brighton struggling to clear the ball away. And Mopai gets his foot in and wins it back for Brighton almost put Lallana in trouble, but Lallana does well to work it up to Pascal Gross, and there's runners on the Brighton right-hand side. Trossard back on the field is one of them, but he's still moving a bit awkwardly, and the ball skips through to Aaron Ramsdale, the Arsenal keeper. 0-0.
Well, we got a bit of a swirl and wind. The rain obviously is coming down as well, but you've got to be really careful and certainly good with your delivery if you are going to play a ball in behind the last defender, because it is going to skip off the turf. You need to put a little bit of check on it if you've got that ability.
The wind's not really going in any particular direction, is it, Albert? It's just swirling around this stadium.
It's the worst type. You know, if you've got a wind that's blowing up or down the pitch, you know, you can judge it. But when you've got a swirling wind that stops and starts, it makes it incredibly difficult.
Might lead to mistakes, we'll see. 6 minutes gone on Talk Sport on game day. Exclusive commentary of Brighton 0, Arsenal 0 here at the Amex Stadium. Dan Burn, one of 3 Brighton centre-halves, plays the ball back to Lewis Dunk. And via Sanchez it reaches Shane Duffy on this near touchline, midway point of his own half. He looks up and fires a ball into the Arsenal half, looking for Mopai, but again it skips off the greasy surface and through to Ramsdale. I remember coming here for the first game from Project Restart when Brighton faced Arsenal in front of an empty house, and Neil Mopai got the winner for the Seagulls in the 5th minute of added time. And Mopai scored the winner on his last 2 starts against the Gunners, but Arsenal won home and away last year against Brighton in the Premier League. And they're on a run of 3 wins in a row, remember, this season. They're in possession, Arsenal, inside their own half with Tierney. Works the ball back to Gabriel. Just takes the game down to walking pace, strokes it to his left for Thomas Partey. Partey just being watched by Pascal Gross. Goes back with Ramsdale, and there is a relatively high press from Brighton here. And Ramsdale will thump it towards this near touchline, but it won't reach the intended target of Tierney. It's picked up instead by Duffy. Works it back into his own half for Byrne, and then back for Sanchez. There's a lot of uncertain players out there, Alvin, Martin, with these rainy, windy conditions.
Yes, look, any doesn't matter what level you play at, you know, whether it's park football or Premier League football, you know, everyone knows a swirl and wind is incredibly difficult to master. You might get sporadic moments when people do it, but you know, it is difficult. You just got to keep trying and plugging away and not letting it affect your flowing game. But there's a real tactical battle going on here, Dan. You know, they're playing a back three and trying to get their wing backs forward. Brighton, they've got a back four, Arsenal, but they're trying to play Tierney as high up the pitch as possible.
Tomiyasu much more defensive on the Arsenal right-hand side of their back four. Dunk will play a quick 1-2 with Adam Lallana. Still Naib Bissouma for Brighton, much missed in that defensive midfield area. He was close to a return, so Graham Potter was saying, but probably after international break now before he's back in the Brighton starting lineup. Dunk again inside his own half, passes to the near touchline right in front of Graham Potter, standing at the edge of his technical area, where Duffy floats it down the right channel, looking for Pascal Gross to give chase, but that's well marshalled behind for a goal kick by Gabriel. We played 8.5 minutes on TalkSport. Brighton 0, Arsenal 0. Earlier today on TalkSport you heard Manchester United and Everton share the points, so more drop points at Old Trafford for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. TalkSport's Andros Townsend with the equaliser. Wolves with a win on TalkSport 2 against Newcastle in the Championship at lunchtime. Coventry 4, Fulham 1. That caught me by surprise when I opened my phone when I got into the press room here this afternoon. And Bournemouth still unbeaten in the Championship. And of course in the Premier League, Leeds United have their first win of the season by a goal to nil against Watford. Saka for Arsenal, working the ball back to just ahead of the centre circle from Martin Odegaard. Good ball for Smith Rowe towards the edge of the area, out to the left. Chance for Aubameyang to drift into the area. He's got 2 Brighton players to get past, and he couldn't get past Trossard, who then wins a throw for Brighton in the right back position. But Arsenal again slick and quick passing around the penalty area. 0-0.
I think he'll be happy. You know, the first the opening phase of this game, Mikel Arteta, his side is starting to pass the ball, a little bit more control than Brighton. Saka got the ball there, turned so quickly with it, and then all of a sudden he gets himself faced up and they come alive. You know, Aubameyang all of a sudden is involved in a Smith Rowe. So you know, I'm really looking forward to see Smith Rowe and Saka start to have big influence on the game. By that I mean shots, you know, creating chances, goals. I think that's the department that Arsenal need if they are going to move to the top echelons of the Premier League. They need to improve that side.
That's the thoughts of Alvin Martin, former West Ham and England defender, you can hear on TalkSport alongside me, Ian Dante, here at the Amex Stadium. 10 minutes gone. Brighton 0, Arsenal 0. It looked like Mopé was pushed over by Gabriel, but nothing doing, says the referee.
Well, I think we're 40 yards away, and the referee's assistant, he was the one actually didn't spot the initial challenge by Trossard. He actually didn't give it.
Cucurella wins it back for Brighton, tries to find Mopé in the area left-hand side, but he's overcooked the pass and holds his hand up, Cucurella, apologetically to Mopé, and Arsenal can bring it away. Lokonga works the ball back to Gabriel at the edge of the area. Once again, blue and white striped shirts pushing forward.
Look at Tierney. Tierney's playing, what, left-hand side midfield?
Yeah.
He's playing right up the pitch, and obviously when he does that, they've got people who fill in for him. You just sit in there, but there's a tactical battle going on, a bit of a cat and mouse game.
Lallana tries to skip away from Smith Rowe, but runs into Lokonga, and then a foul in the centre circle. An Arsenal player gives a free kick to the Gunners, and everyone's shirts are getting soaked already. Not just on the pitch, but in the press area. A lot of ponchos around today, aren't we?
I don't own a poncho, do you?
No, nor do I. No.
I might invest in one of them.
I'm not a fashion guru. I wouldn't. I think we're missing out. I've never seen so much constructive use of plastic bags in my entire life to keep equipment dry. 0-0 on TalkSport. Arsenal's free kick comes to nothing. It's just rolled straight through to Sanchez by Partey. That was the ironic cheer you heard for a poor free kick from the Arsenal number 5. Duffy brings the ball clear for Brighton. Trossard tight to this near touchline, loses out to Lokonga. Aubameyang runs into Gross. Trossard again trying to bring the ball clear for Brighton, but Arsenal have it again. Tierney elects to go back into his own half for Gabriel. Just to his right is Ben White, who of course had that breakthrough year here at Brighton after loan spells away, and earned himself a £50 million move to Arsenal in the summer. And he works the ball back to Gabriel on the halfway line. Just to his left is Smith Rowe, dropping a little deep. Socks rolled half down his shins. Out to the left-hand side it goes for Kieran Tierney, level with the edge of the Brighton penalty area. He might get it again from Smith Rowe. He's trying to dart down that left-hand side of the area. Tierney goes on the overlap, but he's not used. Instead, Arsenal have gone in field. Partey might give the ball away here. Mopé nicks it off him and brings the ball up to halfway, looking for options, and he spots Trossard making a run down the Brighton right, faced up by Gabriel. Players sprinting into the box. Lallana's gone in there. It goes into the near post, and there's plenty of Arsenal shirts back to get it clear.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything on for him there. I got my head up and I was looking in there. He was waiting for something to happen. There wasn't any movement really from any Brighton player, so in the end he just whipped it across and hoped for the best.
I think Jakub Moder was the only one that was trying to run across the defender, but it went nowhere near the Polish player. But Brighton have it back on halfway. TalkSport, 13 gone, Brighton 0, Arsenal 0 on game day. Live boxing to come tonight, including Chris Eubank Jr. 9 o'clock tonight. Join Fight Night with Adam Catterall, Gareth A. Davis and the guys from Wembley. Here at the Amex, Brighton in possession. Trossard looking to release Moder down the left-hand side of the Arsenal box, and Ben White elects to thump it out into the east stand opposite us for a throw, which will be about 10 yards from the corner flag on that far side of the field on Brighton's left.
Not been any reaction, has it, to White? Sometimes you get a few that suppose you might start burning, but there's not been any. That's the first reaction we've said. They put that not in Rose Ed, but not far off Rose Ed.
Eubank's not on the bill, I've just been told tonight. Anyway, Fight Night from 9 with Adam and the team. Here's Cucurella across the face of goal, and no one there to touch it in. In fact, there was nearly a defender on the line that turned it into his own net, but it's gone out of play. It did get a touch off an Arsenal player. It's a corner to Brighton at the south stand then, 0-0.
Good play by them down that left-hand side, and I don't think anyone was trying to pick anybody out here. They were just trying to put a ball into a danger zone. Sometimes it is a defender that puts it into his own net, and Tierney was ever so close doing that.
Pascal Gross will have this corner on the Brighton right. It'll be a right-footed outswinger from the German. Zonal marking from Arsenal at the edge of their 6-yard box. A few Brighton players massed around the penalty spot. Gross hits the corner kick deep to the far post, headed out by Ben White, comes out to Trossard, thought about a drive, but then lofts it back to Gross on the right-hand side, but he's overhit it, and it goes out on the full for an Arsenal goal kick away to our right-hand side in front of their travelling fans. It's 0-0 on TalkSport. Nearly a quarter of an hour gone. Alvin Martin.
A good test for Arsenal there. He alludes to it, didn't he, about the youngsters, the inexperience within his team, Arteta. But so from that sort of situation, deliveries from set ball to three big forwards, aren't they? You look at the three centre-halves, Duffy and Duncan and Byrne. You don't get any bigger than that in the Premier League. So if they handle that today, it'll be another another maybe lesson and pointer towards where they're going to, Arsenal.
0-0. Poor touch from Duffy on halfway last. Tierney to steeze onto it, tried to spread play left and right to pick out Saka, intercepted by Byrne, and now turn around the corner from Moda for Trossard. Ramsdale's out of his ground for a moment. In goes Trossard into the area, faced up by Tierney. Right hand side of the box, drives it across the face of goal, and nobody to touch it home. There were two Brighton players sliding in at the far post, and another half chance for Brighton and Hove Albion. 0-0.
Well, good play by Brighton. Sloppy bit of play in the middle of the park. The ball was really fired to him right on the right hand side. He takes it on the half volley on a wet surface. Perfect touch, and we've seen Ramsdale scurrying back. He thought, is he going to try and lob me in, or is he certainly going to try and have a shot before I get back in? He didn't have any time to think about it really, Trossard, and then Tierney got back one-on-one inside the penalty area, and he's good one-on-one, Trossard. He got it to his left, then he shifted onto his right, and he struck a good shot, but it was always going away from that left-hand post.
Brighton 0, Arsenal 0, 16 minutes gone. It's an Arsenal goal kick away to our right of the south stand end, whacked downfield by Ramsdale, looking for Aubameyang, but Duffy got his head to the ball, but it's intercepted by Smith Rowe, who's picked the ball up left-hand corner of the box, finds Saka, then in steps Cucurella to dispossess Aubameyang, and then Trossard and Tierney both go for the same ball, and it went off the Belgian last of all, so it's an Arsenal throw, just about level with the edge of the Brighton penalty area down the Arsenal left. And Tierney looking for an option. He's got Smith Rowe and he's got Lokonga close, and Odegaard's there as well. Lokonga gives it back to Tierney. First time ball in field to the centre of the Brighton half, headed down by Tomiyasu for Partey, and then Tomiyasu has to dart back into his own half. White just hits a long hopeful ball downfield, but that will bounce once and through to Robert Sanchez, and it's still coming down like stair rods at the Amex Stadium. 0-0, 17 minutes gone on TalkSport Game Day.
It'd be a brave man to forecast this game before the game dance, and I think me and you both spoke and said it wouldn't surprise me if it was a draw, because I think they're well-matched sides, and then the opening 70 minutes have borne that out, haven't they? A really tight game.
But Brighton coming into it a wee bit more. Trossard has it again for the Seagulls just over the halfway line. Cucurella stationed out on that far touchline, picks it up now, level with the edge of the Arsenal box. Back for Trossard once more, just drops his shoulder to get away from Smith Rowe. Now it goes back to Dunk. Duffy gives it back to Dunk inside the centre circle. Graham Potter asked Veltman to drop a little deeper from his position on this near touchline. Dan Byrne goes forward to Jakob Moder, but Moder just being watched all the way by Partey. Brighton content to go back to halfway again and start once more with Shane Duffy on this near side, moving in field towards the centre of the Arsenal half, tries to play it up to the edge of the box, but it's intercepted by Lokonga, who's now driving away for Arsenal. Saka going like an express train in the inside right channel, couldn't find him, got the ball taken off his toe, and Trossard has the ball in the centre circle and works it out left to Cucurella. He's got Lallana and Mopai ahead of him. Plays a 1-2, does Cucurella with Mopai, and then spots Veltman in a bit of space on the inside right channel. Veltman finds Pascal Gross. Gross back for Veltman. Right hand corner of the box. He's got Tierney watching him, so we'll work it back 5 yards or so for Duffy. And again, Dunk will have it, this time a yard or two ahead of the centre circle. Everybody bar Sanchez inside the Arsenal half of the field to our right. 0-0 with 18 and a half minutes gone on TalkSport. Now Arsenal pushing Brighton back towards the centre circle. Driven forward by Dunk, collected by Trossard, works it out to the right wing for Joel Veltman. Early cross, it hits Tierney, goes behind for a second Brighton corner at the south stand end. 0-0.
Those patient build-up by Brighton, kept possession, trying to dictate the pace of the play. Just now and again you think, can they feed it into ball play, into the feet of a forward? I know it's congested in that area, but that's a good build-up of play there.
So Gross again with the corner kick in the same arrangement. Arsenal players zonally at the 6-yard line, and lots of Brighton players in and around the penalty spot. Gross raises his right arm. He can't take the kick yet. The referee John Moss has spotted some pushing and shoving that he wants a word about. Dan Byrne's the man he's looking at specifically, who's standing next to those Arsenal players on the 6-yard line. You can't miss him, Dan Byrne. He's 6'7". So he can't be inconspicuous, can he?
He's only standing there. I've been watching him. He's actually standing there, so I don't know why he needed to talk to him. Who's he got on him? He's only shoulder height on him anyway.
Gross now takes the corner really deep beyond the far post, but Trossard will collect left-hand corner of the area. Mopai down the left-hand side of the box, got space to measure a crossing, drives it towards goal. Ramsdale's dropped it. It's driven over the bar. What a chance for Brighton to take the lead, and it was Lewis Dunk right in front of goal. The ball was like a bar of soap to Aaron Ramsdale. He couldn't hold on to it. It dropped for Lewis Dunk, but as he slid to the ground, he lifted it over the bar, 0-0.
How on earth has he lifted that over the bar from that range? I would have thought that's nearly impossible to do. Incredible. He's had a let off, I think, there, Ramsdale's, no doubt about that. You know, he dropped it. He got a little bit of luck. Well, he didn't get luck initially because it landed at the feet of an opponent who hasn't been able to stick it in the back of the net. Incredible.
Well, Veltman was in there as well, and so was Shane Duffy. Duffy was the one that was closest to Ramsdale when he dropped the cross shot from Neil Mopai. So it stays 0-0 on TalkSport on Game Day. We played 20 minutes, and Arsenal have a goal kick, and they have the two centre-halves in the penalty area. And now Ramsdale is actually looking to kick it long, and the Brighton fans are saying, get on with it. And Ramsdale eventually does clear, and it lands at Mikel Arteta's feet. Throw into Brighton.
Yeah, I wonder if that will ruffle Arsenal a little. You know, it's the first time we've seen them bullied a little. You know, and I think the keeper certainly dropping that ball will not have gone unnoticed to Potter and to Brighton. And you know, if you do get the opportunity now to put a ball into a certain situation again, a similar situation again, you've got to take it.
Veltman tries to win possession from Smith Rowe. It ricochets away from the Arsenal number 10, and eventually it's all the way back with Robert Sanchez in the Brighton goal. Right-footed clearance downfield, straight onto the head of Tomiyasu. Neat header back into the Brighton half, where it's collected on the chest of Bukayo Saka, but immediately dispossessed by Marc Cucurella.
I like him.
Well, you were mentioning him. Yeah. You were watching him on Monday night with your lad when you were watching the Palace Brighton game, weren't you?
You know, sometimes I think you get full-backs who just put the ball back where it came from. Just keep it simple. Don't take any chances with it. Don't take responsibility on. But I think he does. You know, he wants the ball. He plays high up the pitch. Takes a lot of responsibility. It just doesn't do the obvious all the time.
Joined from Getafe, Cucurella in the summer on a 5-year deal, and already looking very settled at Premier League level. Brighton 0, Arsenal 0 on TalkSport. We've played almost a quarter of the game. Ian Danter and Alvin Martin with you at the Amex in these extremely difficult, rainy, windy conditions on the Sussex coast. Tomiyasu drives the ball down the Arsenal right, asking Saka to give chase, and he's in behind Dan Burn into the area. Burn gets something on it, drops at the far post. Aubameyang tries to head it across the face of goal, and eventually Adam Lallana just puts his foot through it to get it out of play for an Arsenal throw. I don't know quite how that stayed in, but staying it did, and Arsenal have a throw, and that was danger.
Well, Saka burn for pace. They certainly got the other side of him, but the ball was all over the place. I think the wind actually helped Brighton there, because it was very difficult for Arsenal to get any purchase on it. Certainly Aubameyang tried, but I think you've got to give credit to the Brighton defence in the end. There's so many bodies throwing themselves at the ball, making blocks and trying to clear it.
I live to hear you say things like he burnt Burn for pace, because you say it like nobody else does, Albion.
But no, you know, the game is to and fro, doesn't it? It's been very entertaining and very difficult for the players because of the conditions. Obviously, it'll be the same all the way over the country today, so everyone will be having to contend with this. But both sets of players are making the best of it for sure.
Brighton 0, Arsenal 0. We played a quarter of the game, so nearly 24 minutes gone. Brighton in possession just shy of the halfway line with Adam Lallana. Works it out to this near touchline and Pascal Gross, who comes in field, gives it to Lallana once more. He'll go back for Lewis Dunk. So it's currently Brighton 0, Arsenal 0. And for the latest odds, head to Betfair, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage, where right now you can get Brighton at 12-5, Arsenal 8-5, and the draw at 2-1. That's all thanks to Betfair, where you'll get no cash out suspensions on match odds on football. 18 plus, begambleaware.org. Arsenal trying to win the possession on halfway. Good challenge. Dan Burn sliding in on Saka, applauded by his manager Graham Potter down in front of us, and the Seagulls have it back. Lallana finds Shane Duffy, who had that torrid year at Celtic last year on loan, but enjoying life back here at Brighton and Hove Albion, who are coming forward with Joel Veltman down the right-hand side, looking to step inside Tierney. Left-footed ball into the box. Good header clear from Ben White, but it will drop straight for Shane Duffy once more. Works it back out to Veltman on this near touchline. He's got support from Pascal Gross. Tries to work it further down the right-hand side for Lallana. Headed away by Odegaard, but there's Trossard on the scene, right-hand corner of the box. Gross, lovely little ball lifted for Lallana into the area and driven away for a corner kick by the Arsenal back four. Very neat and tidy from Brighton round the edge of the Arsenal box, and they have a third corner of the half to the Seagulls. It's 0-0.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing as well, in spite of the conditions, Dan, so I think we've got two teams who are in rich vein form here. The confidence is high in both camps. I think that's allowing them to be able to combat the conditions.
So Pascal Gross will again have this corner kick away to our right-hand side at the south stand end in front of the Arsenal fans. 25 gone, 0-0. Now he raises both arms on this occasion, Pascal Gross, before he strikes the ball, right-footed. Again, it's deep to the far post. Headed away by Ben White. Drops for Trossard again inside the area. Tries to get the shot away. It's blocked by a forest of Arsenal legs. 12 yards out, and the ball ends up back on the halfway line with Cucurella. Back it goes out to the left-hand side, and Byrne. Good ball down the left-hand side. Trossard in space. Can he get a cross in? Checks onto his right foot to get away from Tomiyasu. Then he finds Jakub Moder, left-hand corner of the box. Moder trying to send Trossard away down the left-hand side, but it's intercepted by Arsenal players and then given away by Partey. Mopé at the edge of the area tries a drive and lifts it way over the bar. Goal kick to Arsenal, and Mikel Arteta just exhorting a bit more effort down beneath us as he looks at his Arsenal players at the back. 0-0.
Just slightly getting on top now, aren't they, Brighton, for the first time in the game, but I just feel like maybe Trossard has got to deliver that ball. He dinked it twice, checked it back, and he had at that time he had there's two centre-halves up there. Duncan Duffy are both in there waiting for a delivery. When you've got two players of that size in the box, you've got to deliver it.
Dalvin Martin, you can hear there alongside me, Ian Dancer. You're listening to Brighton 0, Arsenal 0 on TalkSport with Now. Don't forget, with a Now Sports Day membership, you can watch Brighton Arsenal live right now on Sky Sports for just £9.99 without a contract. Search Now Sports. Brighton in possession in their blue and white striped shirts. Driven pass, lovely pass from Trossard out to Cucurella on the left-hand side, midway point of the Arsenal half. Up ahead of him is Moder, who's taken Tomiyasu out with him. Trossard works it back to Cucurella once more, who looks about a foot and a half shorter than Dan Byrne, who stood next to him for a moment. Now it's Duffy looking for Gross as Brighton switch play from left to right. Edge of the area, Mopé lifts it down for Lallana, across the face of goal and turned over the bar. Trossard wants a corner. It's been given as a corner. That was a sensational interception from Gabriel to stop Brighton going in front. 0-0.
I don't know if it was Gabriel or White, but you are right absolutely about one thing, and that is to get you that touch on that is so critical, because if he doesn't, it's 1-0 to Brighton. Fantastic play. Mopé does fantastic, just dinks the ball over the top.
It was indeed Ben White.
And I tell you what, it's excellent play. That deserves a goal. They haven't got it, but it deserved it.
Fourth corner for Brighton in this first half at the south stand end to our right. Gross again on corner taking duties for the Seagulls. Right-footed delivery to around the edge of the 6-yard box. It's headed out to the edge of the area. Aubameyang will get it half clear, but he's lost out. Arteta wants a foul, nothing doing. Brighton have it back right wing. It's worked back to Lewis Dunk. First on ball, lovely swirl on it and headed over the bar. Big chance for Dan Byrne up from the back on 6 yards, but like with Lewis Dunk's shot earlier, he couldn't keep his header down. Arsenal goal kick, 0-0.
Well, I'm sure we'd have had a moan there from Arsenal, and they'd have had every right to moan. That's a foul. Should have been given. It wasn't. Once it wasn't given, the ball goes in, and it is a quality ball from this right-hand side. Dan Byrne, all he's got to do is get a good contact on the ball and keep it down, and then it's a problem from Ramsdale. Doesn't do it.
And so Arsenal bring the ball up to the halfway line. Saka does get a foul off Byrne this time, as they both went to ground in the centre circle. You can hear the boos ringing down. I think if the Brighton fans saw what they got away with that previous challenge, they might not be quite so down about it. The vanishing spray's been put down. Did Neil Mopé just get the vanishing spray off John Moss?
I think John Moss had dropped it. Dropped his spray. And he decided to take over and mark where it should go. I've always wanted to do that myself, actually, to have a go at one of them spray cans.
We can arrange it for you, Alvin. Brighton 0, Arsenal 0 on TalkSport. We're approaching the half-hour mark at the Amex Stadium. Arsenal in possession inside their own for Tomiyasu. Has his pocket picked by Cucurella. Mopé gives it back to Cucurella. Lays it off to the edge of the area. Driven goals by Lallana, and then poked out of play by Gabriel at the last. And Trossard was coming in as well. Tomiyasu got caught in possession, and Arsenal were nearly made to pay. 0-0.
There's that little left wing back, Cucurella again, really on top of him. I just felt they could have done it a little bit better. They could have released that ball. It was just played behind the Brighton player. It needed to be a perfect ball, and it wasn't. Although he still got the shot away. You've got to give credit to Arsenal. They're going for a really rocky patch here, but defending well.
Still goalless Brighton have a throw down by the corner flag on the right-hand side, the near touchline to us, and it's Joel Veltman who's looking for an option. Trossard is there. He's gone beyond that to the edge of the area, helped across the edge of the box by Moda. Drops inside the area, it's lofted towards Mopai, who tries to hook it goalwards, and he got it wrong, and it went a good 4 or 5 yards wide of Ramsdale's right-hand post. Another goal kick to Arsenal. More applause from Graham Potter for his side's efforts just in front of us, but it stays on TalkSport on the half hour. Brighton 0, Arsenal 0. Alvin Martin.
I think the game now is looking like it's going to supply us with a goal. I've got to say that Brighton at this moment in time look certainly the more likely to get the first goal in this game.
Goal kick taken by Gabriel, given to Ramsdale to clear downfield. That's a tactic that I'm seeing more and more when goal kicks are being taken. But again, Arsenal lose out on halfway, but Cucurella's ball down the Brighton left-hand side was easily gobbled up by Ben White, but then he runs into Jakob Moda, and Arsenal end up winning a throw on the far side of the field. Brighton have won just 5 out of 29 Premier League home games before the improvements that they had toward the end of last season. They are much, much better at home than they have been in the Chris Hughton era, and certainly in the early days of Graham Potter's reign here before he started getting his messages across. The loss here against Everton, for example, Alvin, is their only defeat here in 8, with 5 wins in that time.
Yeah, no, I think I watched him very closely when they were going through the rocky period last year, with their home form being particularly poor. And he never wavered. He protected his players. Graham Potter, he kept sticking with his philosophy, continuing to coach, continuing to press the play exactly the same way, and over the period of the season it got better and better, and they've carried that now on into this season. Your home form, like I said earlier on, Dan, is so important. It lifts the whole support base.
Thoughts of Alvin Martin, former West Ham and England defender, alongside me, Ian Danter. Brighton 0, Arsenal 0 on TalkSport's Game Day. 32 minutes gone. Here is Mopai finding Pascal Gross midway point of the Arsenal half, but he works the ball back to halfway, and Duffy. Dunk now in the centre circle. Played so much football for Brighton, Lewis Dunk. Since 2017 he's barely missed a minute, has he, Alvin? You were saying earlier.
Well, I was looking at the stat. He's missed 9 games.
Here's Neil Mopai trying to run at the Arsenal defence. He's 30 yards out, slips it to the left. It might break for Jakob Moda, left-hand corner of the box. Tries the first time cross, and it's deflected out by Tomiyasu for a Brighton throw. 0-0.
Potter down below us. He's always about 25 yards away from us.
Yeah.
He's really happy with the way his team's playing at the moment. When you're playing this well and you're starting to take control of a game, you need a goal, Dance. He'd be playing for a goal to come in this good spell.
Getting plenty of encouragement from the locals here at the Amex Stadium. Duffy under pressure from Odegaard has to work the ball back to Robert Sanchez, and certainly in the last 20 minutes we've been looking more, Alvin Martin and myself, in the half to our right than the half to our left, which Arsenal have been attacking. Here's Cucurella nodding the ball down for Trossard, getting to the edge of the area, working the ball onto his right foot, couldn't curl it goalwards, couldn't repeat what he did with a win at Leicester. It's way over the crossbar from the Belgian. Another Arsenal goal kick, another Brighton chance goes begging. 0-0 on TalkSport.
Well, certainly Cucurella on that left-hand side is starting to become more and more prominent, and he's getting forward. He's playing in a really advanced area, and like I said, when he gets the ball, there's a purpose to what he's trying to do. He doesn't just go back where it came from. He wants to thread it into the front man. If there's one criticism of Brighton at times, is that they've got to look forward a little bit more. Take a risk of losing a ball if you're going to get it into Mopai, because you get it into Mopai and Trossard, then the whole stadium starts to think something's going to happen. So you've got to take risks now and again to get the ball to those sort of players.
Bamiyang loses out on halfway. It's gone out of play for a throw right in front of Graham Potter. You listen to Brighton 0, Arsenal 0 on TalkSport with WeBuyAnyCar.com. Get a quote in 60 seconds at WeBuyAnyCar.com. And we've got just over 10 minutes to half-time here at the Amex Stadium. With Game Day, your verdict coming up on TalkSport as soon as we're done, with Dan Windle and Gabby Egbondahor taking your calls on all the day's action. Man United fans dropping points at Old Trafford again. Newcastle fans still can't win. Leeds United fans, a first win. You can ring and tell Gabby all about that. Leeds, he'll be delighted to hear from you, Leeds fans, I promise you. Free kick to Arsenal meantime, midway point of the Brighton half.
And that's Smith Rowe as well, Dan. So as you were reading there, I looked at him. He took a ball out the sky. Fabulous touch right in front of Jonathan Moss, and he was fouled. And what that's done is it's exhibited what skill he's got. But they needed to take the pressure off them, and players like that, understanding that and getting themselves a foul, get up the pitch, relax, let's regroup. Very important.
It's 35 yards out, and Thomas Partey might fancy a crack at this, the way he's rolled his socks up and he's standing 4 or 5 paces back. Partey steps up, does go for goal. That's landed in Hove. Goal kick to Brighton, 0-0.
But when it went off, I was worried about that large illuminated scoreboard. Could have been some damage to it. It looks like he was aiming for it, didn't it?
I did think, you get a feeling when a player rolls his socks up and takes 3 or 4 paces. He fancies this, but that's the pressure valve release for Brighton, and that could have been more pressure applied. But in the end, it's a goal kick. More live football to come in the week on the TalkSport Network. Lincoln Sunderland on Tuesday in the Papa John's Trophy at 7 o'clock. I'll be there at the NLER Stadium along with Adrian Clark. And Friday, Czech Republic Wales in a World Cup qualifier on TalkSport 2 at 7:45. Here's Joel Veltman for Brighton and Hove Albion. 0-0 with Arsenal with 9 minutes to half-time on TalkSport. It's game day, where we brought you plenty of exclusive live commentaries already. Manchester United's draw with Everton. Coventry's thumping win against Fulham. Wolves beating Newcastle by 2-1 in the 3 o'clock commentary. Cucurella away down the left-hand side for Brighton, taking Tomiyasu with him. Stays on his feet as Tomiyasu goes to ground, gets the cross in, poked behind by Partey for a corner again to Brighton, this time on their left-hand side. Still 0-0, but still the Seagulls press.
Well, I'll tell you what they have done. They've found a wing-back or a full-back, certainly, Brighton, of a decent calibre. He's a fabulous little player. You said he's not the biggest, but he's a competitor, I'll tell you that. And it was pure aggression that won him that ball there on the edge of the box and whipped it over across into a dangerous area. It's been defended well again by Arsenal, but applies the pressure again for Brighton.
Now it's a left wing corner, so right-footed in swinger from Pascal Gross, right under the crossbar. Heads go up and Shane Duffy into the side netting. Ramsdale didn't really know where the ball was, and Duffy arrived right at the far stick, tried to head it back from whence it came, but it just brushed the side netting, and Arsenal have a goal kick, 0-0.
Yeah, good delivery. It's an uncomfortable phase of the game for Arsenal, this.
And it's back with Ben White and Gabriel, who clear the ball up to Aubameyang. Good header down for Saka on halfway. Tries to twist away from Lallana. Again, Arsenal have given the ball away, and again, Brighton have won a free kick. Possession squandered by the Gunners.
But again, I agree with you there, Dan, but I think you have to give credit to Brighton. You know, they're playing with an intensity that at the moment Arsenal are struggling to live with. And most teams, I think, if they apply it this way as well as they have Brighton, I think a lot of teams in the Premier League would struggle to contend with it.
Just about 8 minutes to half-time in these swirling, rainy, windy conditions at the Amex Stadium. But Brighton are enjoying themselves, but they've had the pressure, but they've not turned the pressure into goals. Lallana wins a throw out on the left-hand side. And it would be a throw to be taken by Cucurella. Incidentally, I mentioned Chris Eubank Jr. against Anatoly Muratov off because the German challenger unable to be cleared by the British Boxing Board of Control on medical grounds. So David Avanesian's European title fight now tops the bill on Fight Night from Wembley from 9 o'clock here on TalkSport. Here's Jakob Moder for Brighton, working the ball in field to the busy Cucurella. Now Trossard plays the ball into the centre of the Arsenal half for Duffy. Pascal Gross, right-hand corner of the box, thought about a cross, checks back onto his left and then again onto his right. Veltman in support, tries to give it back to Gross. Can he keep it in play at the dead ball line? He can, straight into the chest of Lokonga, and then Trossard steps in front to win it back. Somehow finds Veltman at the edge of the area. 1 and 2 touch football, and Moder tries to find Lallana in the box, but the ball trickled under Lallana's boot and behind for an Arsenal goal kick. 0-0 on TalkSport, 6 to the break.
Yeah, a little unfortunate there, if his touch, and it's not an easy touch to take, Lallana. If it's a perfect touch, he opens himself out and he's got a shot at goal there. But you can see the crowd are liking what they're seeing. It's inventive, it's intense, they're pressing, they're putting a good team in Arsenal who will come here with 3 wins under the belt, and they're making them second best at the moment. But 39 minutes gone, still nothing to show for it from Brighton's point of view.
Brighton 0, Arsenal 0. Veltman heads Ramsdale's goal kick back towards the halfway line. Tierney goes infield for Smith Rowe, turns away from Lallana, shows good speed to keep the ball away from Pascal Gross. Now Tomiyasu finds Saka in a bit of chase. Chance for Saka to have a run at Dan Burn towards the edge of the area. Inside the box, Odegaard tries to play it across, comes out to Partey, 30 yards out, and he's put it wide. First time hit, that was a better effort from Thomas Partey than the free kick he skied over the bar, but it went the wrong side of Robert Sanchez's left-hand post. Good half chance for Arsenal, 0-0.
Yeah, as soon as he got turned on the ball, Smith Rowe, he does some wonderful things. If you put a little cameo together of 90 minutes of him, you're bound to get 7 or 8 really high-quality moments, and that was another one. The ball eventually ended up at Saka there. I think when Saka gets the ball, you want to leave him with it because he looks like he's got the beating of Dan Burn. Let him go 1 versus 1. He didn't go past him this time. He played the ball in. When it ricocheted to the edge of the box, as he shaped up to hit that, it looked like he got everything right, Partey, and it whistled off the ground, and we had a few players in front of us, but you could tell by the goalkeeper's reaction, he was worried. It just went wide.
It was a good yard or 2 wide in the end from Thomas Partey, but a shot across Brighton's bows. 0-0 on TalkSport into the last 5 minutes of the first half. Shove on Neil Mopai by Gabriel, gives Brighton a free kick, and Mopai wanted to take it quickly, but the ball was rolling, and anyway Gabriel was doing that thing that you centre-halves always do and stand in front of the free kick and stop it being taken.
Mopai tried to get him booked, didn't he? He tried to take the free kick quickly, and if he hits the defender, then he's going to get booked.
Oh, so you're taking the defender's side. That's no great surprise.
Yeah, but, I'm a big fan of Mopai, but he does have a little edge to him, and I think that's good. I think you need that in the team.
Guendouzi and him 2 years ago, and Project Restart had a bit of a set to. They were not best of friends. Now, free kick taken by Brighton, 0-0. Closing stages of the first half on TalkSport. Ball goes back into the Brighton half. Duffy just keeps the ball away from Aubameyang and works the ball left to his pal Lewis Dunk. Burn gives the ball back to Lewis Dunk. The 3 Brighton centre-halves all getting a touch, and then Lallana calmly rolls the ball back to Robert Sanchez, who joined at 15 for Brighton. He's had loans at clubs like Forest Green and Rochdale.
Do you know, Dan, so
and made his Premier League debut last year.
He's a very good goalkeeper, but I think he's grown underneath Potter in terms of his confidence, but they do protect him well. I think only Manchester City have allowed the opposition more pops at goal than Brighton, so they protect their goalkeeper really well.
7 clean sheets at home in 2021. Brighton and Manchester City and Chelsea have 9. They're the only 2 teams in this calendar year who can better that from Brighton's point of view. Arsenal have a throw, 2.5 plus added time to half-time on TalkSport. It's still goalless, and it's still raining, and Tierney has the throw on this near side to us, the Arsenal left-hand side. And again, the crowd are getting impatient because Tierney's taking an eternity to decide where he wants to go with the throw, and he looks for Aubameyang over the halfway line, but Lewis Dunk out-muscles him with ease to get it back to Sanchez.
Look, I think, they might not admit it, but I think Arsenal will be more than happy to go in 0-0 at the moment. 42 minutes gone, let's get in, let's regroup. We know we need to improve, and this team is on top of us at the moment.
So by that token, you would be frustrated then if you were a Brighton player going in at 0-0.
Yeah, I think you'd want certainly to see at least 1 goal on the scoreboard, because I think they played well enough to divide the teams by at least a goal.
Lokonga driving through the centre circle for Arsenal. Late in the first half, Smith Rowe driving towards the area. Tierney on the overlap left-hand side. First time cross headed away by Lallana. Might drop though for Lokonga. Leaves it for Partey, centre of the Brighton half. Plays it out to Odegaard. Up to the edge of the area, lovely touch from Smith Rowe to get Saka into the game, and he spins away from Cucurella, tries to play a 1-2 with Odegaard, doesn't come off, and Brighton will try and bring it forward. Lofted up to Neil Mopai, little ball round the corner for Pascal Gross, but across steps Partey to get his foot in, and away comes Emile Smith Rowe down the left hand side for Arsenal. First time cross into the box, just goes beyond Aubameyang, and it's Dan Burn who had an awkward first touch, but his second touch cleared it down towards halfway. 0-0.
Smith Rowe again. As soon as he gets it, he drives. He's so sharp, so fast running with the ball at his feet.
Odegaard now for Arsenal. Midway point of the Brighton half. Goes backwards to square to Partey. Out to the right-hand side where Bukayo Saka is waiting. Dan Burn standing in front of him. Saka just jinks in field for a moment. Finds Odegaard. Rolls it to Smith Rowe inside the D. Very central. Smith Rowe somehow keeps the ball. Works it out left to Kieran Tierney. Tierney's cross deflected in the end. Brighton will clear it with Gross down towards the halfway line. but Gabriel's there ahead of Mopai. Late pressure from Arsenal in these final seconds of the first half. We're heading towards stoppage time on TalkSport. 0-0. Saka again down the Arsenal right, isolating Dan Burn, but Cucurella is joining in. Saka with a left-footed cross, it hits Cucurella and comes straight back out to Thomas Partey, who shovels it back out to Saka. Chance to measure across, maybe with his left foot, jinks it into the box. It's overhit by Saka and out for a Brighton goal kick. And once again Graham Potter applauds the efforts of his defenders as we go into a minute of minimum added time at the end of this first half at the Amex. 0-0.
The last 5 minutes, I think they've ended the half really well, Arsenal. But it's whenever he gets on the ball, Smith Rowe, he's got no right to keep the ball at times in the tight areas that he receives it, but somehow he does. And when he does drive at the ball, he drives 100 miles an hour at you, and is able to lay the ball off at the right way at the right time. His technical ability is unbelievable.
And he had the ball on a piece of string there at the edge of the D's. He turned away. He's just signed a 5-year extension, Emile Smith Rowe. Breakthrough season last year, of course, at Arsenal. Very much trusted as a regular by Mikel Arteta this season. Ball's on halfway and Jakob Moder tries to feed the ball through to Trossard, but it's out of play for an Arsenal throw, bang on halfway. And John Moss actually just inside the Arsenal half, he's telling Tomiyasu just to go back a yard or two, which Tomiyasu eventually does under protest, and will launch the throw down the far right-hand side of the field. But again, Arsenal taking their time over the throw. Odegaard gives the ball back, and that signals the half-time whistle from John Moss here at the Amex Stadium in these horrible windswept rainy conditions that we've had right round the United Kingdom today. But Brighton seem to make the most of it in this first half. It may be goalless, but they've had two of the clearest chances of the half. Lewis Dunk lifting the ball over the crossbar from close in when Ramsdale had dropped a cross shot from Neil Mopai. And then a header from Dan Burn over the bar from close range, from a similar area really, but he just couldn't keep his head down. At the other end, Aubameyang with an early effort for Arsenal, and Thomas Partey with a wayward free kick. But Brighton have bossed it territorially, but we await the breakthrough at the Amex Stadium. Half-time on TalkSport's Game Day. It's Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Arsenal 0. Thanks, Dan. Character building this is. Back underway with Brighton heading towards the north stand to our left in this second half. Howard and I are sat just behind the two dugouts in the west stand here at the Amex Stadium. Brighton in their blue and white striped shirts with the blue shorts and white socks. Arsenal in an all light yellow strip, their change strip today. I'll run you through the lineups in a minute. In fact, Tomiyasu trying to throw the ball in, couldn't keep it in, so let me run you through the Brighton lineup. Sanchez in goal, Duffy, Duncan, Burn as three centre-halves, Veltman, Gross, Lallana and Cucurella across the midfield, and then Trossard and Moder in support of Mopai up front. Arsenal have Ramsdale in goal, Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel and Tierney in the back four, Partey and Lokonga holding, Saka, Odegaard and Smith Rowe behind Aubameyang. And Jakob Moder's in a bit of trouble here. He's gone down, he's given away a free kick to Arsenal, but the Polish player has come off worse right down in front of our commentary position here, 0-0.
Well, certainly, you know, you look at both managers getting in the dressing room at half-time. I think Graham Potter would have been say, okay, I'm really pleased with our first half. All we need is a goal. We need a little bit more quality in the final third. Believe in yourself, you know, and keep playing the way you are, and it will come. I think they need to just up it a little bit more. They showed at the end of the first half that there's certainly more to Arsenal than we've seen in that first half for the majority of the first half. You know, I'm not saying that they were terrible, dance, but I think there's another gear that they've got to find.
No changes made by either Graham Potter or Mikel Arteta at the break. Still no Yves Bissouma available to Brighton amongst their substitutes, and they have missed him whilst he's been injured. Here's Kieran Tierney for Arsenal, driving into the Brighton half. Out to the left-hand side is Smith Rowe, who had a very, very good first half for Arsenal. Good ball to pick out Tomiyasu, rolls the ball out to Saka on this near side, the Arsenal right, as Arsenal attack the south stand that their fans are in. Saka trying to get in behind Dan Burn in the area, but that's good defensive play by Dan Burn. Wasn't quite second best, but he muscled Saka out of the way and got the ball clear for Brighton. 0-0. Here's Lokonga. He's pushed to the ground by Moder, who appears to be back to full fitness after his little clash earlier. Arsenal have a free kick, and Ben White, who played more minutes for Brighton than anybody else last season, and of course is now an Arsenal player, He's going to let the free kick be taken by Partey out to Bukayo Saka on this near side, being watched by Cucurella at the moment. Tomiyasu on the overlap. Out comes Dan Burn, slides in with a giant telescopic left leg and puts it out of play for an Arsenal throw.
He does that ever so well, doesn't he, Dan Burn? You know, he is 6'6", but he's so mobile.
I tell you what, he's got better since he was at Birmingham. When he was there, I'd have seen milk turn quicker. But he has improved. Yes, he was at Fulham, I remember, when in his young days. But at Brighton, he's been integral, both to not just Graham Potter, but Chris Hughton made very good use of him as well.
I think he dovetails very well with his little wing back here. You know, I'm a particular fan of.
Yeah, Cucurella has a throw for Brighton, midway point of his own half. Tries to find Mopé on halfway. Odegaard half wins the ball back for Arsenal, but Burns there again just to put a long ball downfield, asking Mopé to give chase, but Gabriel intelligently nods the ball back to Ramsdale. Ramsdale, of course, 2 clean sheets in the last 3 since replacing Bernd Leno as the number 1 at the Emirates Stadium. Might have some more defending to do here because Trossard's coming forward for Brighton. Out on the right hand side is Jakob Moder, and lovely turn from Pascal Gross. Finds Lallana at the edge of the area. Tees up Moder, right-footed curler. It's a good couple of yards wide of Ramsdale's left-hand post, but another early half chance in this second half for Brighton. 4 gone after the restart, still 0-0.
Yeah, it was a lovely set by Lallana, and he measured it. It was just slightly behind him maybe, and he had to try and generate more power than he wanted to there, Moder, but it certainly had him scrambling across the goal. Ramsdale will have the goal kick, takes it short to Gabriel, who was almost caught out by that. He was waiting for Ramsdale to give it a hammer downfield, and they put it out of play again, Arsenal, so another goal kick routine comes to nothing. Gabriel looks like he is the leader. I think Ben White obviously is a strong physical presence in there, but Gabriel looks like he's the one that takes the lead role in that back line.
Again, another player that came in for the start of the better run in Arsenal's back 4. Came in for the game against Norwich that Arsenal won by a goal to 0 at the Emirates Stadium. It's 0-0 here with 5 minutes gone of the second half on Talk Sports Game Day. Another exclusive Premier League commentary for you. And Arsenal have possession on halfway, and away goes Bukayo Saka. Early ball infield for Odegaard, but Odegaard runs into Mopé coming back to track back and win the ball for the Seagulls. And an intelligent pass out to Jakob Moder. Inside left channel, he's got Trossard calling for it on this near side. Moder again, moving down the left-hand side of the Arsenal box, works the ball back to Cucurella. Infield it goes to Trossard. Looked to be winding up for a shot for a moment. Now he plays a 1-2 at the edge of the area. Looked like he'd lost out to Partey, and indeed he has. And Partey is the furthest player forward for Arsenal, coming towards the halfway line. Helped out by Lokonga. And now Tierney works the ball back to Gabriel. 0-0. Rain still thumping down here at the Amex Stadium. And the wind still swirling around as well, which could lead to a mistake from either attacker or defender.
Sometimes I do look at Brighton, even in this second half, it's only 5 minutes of it have gone, but just thinking they could maybe take a chance and let more bodies be released into the forward areas. When Arsenal get it, credit to them, you can see there are 5 yellow shirts as they're playing in today. They all want to get forward in and around Aubameyang, whereas they're not as probably effective in terms of getting support up to Mopé. Mopé's a lot of the time he's having to fight defenders off dance and feed on scraps. A little bit of support in that part of the team is really where their next bit of improvement's got to come.
Arsenal's away form is pretty good. They've won 9 out of their last 15 on their travels and lost 4, drawn 2. That's not too shabby for an away record in any division. But it's 0-0 here on TalkSport with Dan Burn getting his head to the ball just inside his own half. But the ball breaks for Arsenal. Saka is challenged by Burn, but swiftly on the scene is Smith Rowe. Once again turns on a sixpence and finds Lokonga. Tierney making a great run down the Arsenal left, but Lokonga's going to go alone and fires a right-footed shot into the Arsenal fans in that south stand behind the goal to our right. Brighton goal kick. It's 0-0. Ian Danter and Alvin Martin with you on TalkSport.
I think Lokonga and Partey have had a stronger first 5 minutes in this game. More influence on the game. They're going to be important to Arsenal today because I've mentioned all the forward players they've got. You've got obviously Aubameyang up the top and Saka on this right, Smith Rowe. and Odegaard is also playing, forward. So when they do lose the ball, it's important for those two central midfielders of Arsenal to win it back, to make sure they've got control of what happens when they turn over possession.
Long goal kick downfield from Sanchez, helped on by Byrne. Mopé can bring it down on his thigh. Goes to go, actually treads on the ball and allows Arsenal to win it back. Partey trying to slip through Aubameyang over the halfway line. The flag hasn't got up. Aubameyang goes into the area, goes round Sanchez and can't finish it. And the referee is going to say goal kick.
Yeah, I think that's offside. I think that was offside. I think it was a tight one. I think the referee's assistant here. Yeah, he's giving it now.
The assistant referee just jogged back to where the ball was played to Aubameyang and raised his flag. He went round Sanchez, but there was a Brighton defender back there to stop Aubameyang getting the shot on goal.
Might have been a penalty, but they have brought it back now.
You go back for the first offence, which is the offside before the penalty, of course. 8 minutes gone in the second half. Live on TalkSport at the Amex Stadium, 0-0. Brighton's free kick then for that offside.
Just a warning sign every now and again, isn't it? They do possess real quality going forward, Arsenal, and they have, I think, long periods of the game where they're looking good, Brighton, and they're dominating, they're getting on top of Arsenal. But every time now and again, there's a little sign that they could pay the price if they're not ultra careful.
Brighton have only faced 16 shots on target before today in the Premier League. Only Manchester City have a better record than that. They do stop teams getting at them, Brighton, more often than not. Now a foul on Trossard by Partey, and Brighton have a free kick about 28-29 yards out to the left of centre. Somebody might fancy having a dip at goal from here, Albin Martin.
I don't know if they've got... Do they possess that real technician?
Gross would be the obvious one for me.
Yeah. Not sure, Dan. So, it just seems a little bit too far out for me, this.
Well, Gross and Cucurella are the two players standing over the ball. John Moss is now asking the two Arsenal players. He's dropped the old shaving foam again, John Moss. He's not doing very well with that tonight. He's losing his grip in these rainy conditions. But it's a two-man wall. Aubameyang and Saka just in front of the 18-yard line. Gives you an idea just how far out this free kick is for Brighton. Ramsdale waits just ahead of his goal line. Cucurella pretends to send it in, then it is Gross who clips it to the far post. Great header out by Gabriel. And Tierney is first on the scene, left-hand side of his own penalty area. He plays the ball in field and he gave it to Trossard. Trossard back out to the right-hand side. Brighton, though, give the ball away needlessly. Trossard and Veltman got in a bit of a muddle. Lallana wins it back for the Seagulls. 0-0 on TalkSport. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Good game at the Amex. Plenty to offer, even though we haven't had the deadlock broken as yet. Pascal Gross driving into the Arsenal half, plays it into the feet of Trossard, midway point of Arsenal territory. He comes in field, plays the ball left to Jakob Moder. First time ball, trying to get Cucurella away down the left-hand side. He collects it right by the corner flag at the north stand end. Left-hand side, works it back to Trossard. Left-hand corner of the box, lifts the ball into Jakob Moder. Tries to drive, he couldn't keep it down. Nice idea from Jakob Moder, but it sailed way over the crossbar and shanked wide. And it'll be an Arsenal goal kick, 0-0.
Lovely little dink by Trossard on the edge of the penalty area, left-hand side, and it bounces, and he takes it on the half volley. And he's got to really get it moving from left to right. It didn't do that for him. He got the power on it, and he had to take it quick because he's being closed down. But yeah, decent half chance.
You're listening to Brighton 0, Arsenal 0 on TalkSport with Now. Don't forget, with the Now Sports Day membership, you can watch Crystal Palace Leicester and Liverpool Man City live tomorrow on Sky Sports for just £9.99 without a contract. Search Now Sports. Bukayo Saka racing onto a loose ball down the Arsenal right, level with the edge of the Brighton penalty area. Cucurella sticks his foot in and wins it off Saka, but he has conceded Arsenal's first corner of the game in front of their fans at the South Stand end, 0-0.
I thought they were in trouble there. Dan Burn it was, who tried to take the ball, carry it. He got dispossessed, and there's 8 of space really for Saka. He ran a Cucurella, and I've got to say, the little Spaniard again, he's done a fantastic job one-on-one there.
Short corner worked by Odegaard, who gets it back from Saka, works it back to Lokonga at the edge of the area, back down the right hand side of the box to Odegaard. Lokonga again in the side for the injured Granit Xhaka. Now Saka at the edge of the area, with Cucurella at his back, gives it to Odegaard, cross into the area, out comes Sanchez, punches it half clear, drops for Smith Rowe at the edge of the area, trying to work space for a shot on his right, lays it back for Partey, who drives it again into those Gunners fans in that end away to our right, and under the goal kick will go Brighton's way this time. We played 12 minutes of the second half on TalkSport. Still 0-0 between Brighton and Arsenal.
Another good set by Smith Rowe. Certainly a good. He was never really going to hit the target, was he? But look, that's a part of Smith Rowe's game as well. I think he's got to be a little bit more selfish there, Dan. He's around the edge of the box. If he's going to be the player that Arsenal hope he's going to be, then he's got to start coming up with 10 goals a season from that midfield area, that advanced midfield area. And you only do that by taking shots, by taking advantage and responsibility on the ball. He's got to start, like I said, being a bit more selfish in them situations.
Oh, terrible header from Shane Duffy, but Aubameyang couldn't latch onto it. The ball just sat up wrong for him as he tried to dart through the centre of the field. Cleared away by Sanchez. Tierney heads it back to halfway, collected by Smith Rowe. Again, wonderful skill from Smith Rowe. Got away from Lallana, but then runs into Jakob Moder, who's won the ball back for Brighton. Here is Pascal Gross. Veltman on his outside, midway point of the Arsenal half. Goes in field to Moder once more. Moder, lovely ball, clipped down the right-hand side of the area for Gross, but that's good defending by Lokonga as well. And Gabriel for Arsenal whacks it clear, deflects up in the air off the shin of Moder, and Brighton have won it back again. Arsenal couldn't get beyond halfway.
They're very good at what they're doing now, Brighton. They have a little spell where you can look like you're going to undo them, but then they get back into their stride. They pin you in, and they don't let you out. Any defender gets the ball, he's under pressure straight away. He's having to play,
don't they?
Yeah. Well, you've got to press. You've got to do that anyway. It's if you do that ones and twos, they'll just pick you off any team. But it really is a really healthy way of playing, because you think about it, they're playing all their football, or the majority of their football, in the opposition's half, and any player will tell you, Dance, that's the part that you enjoy.
Nearly an hour gone. Ian Dancer and Alvin Martin, the former West Ham and England defender, with you on TalkSport Game Day. Brighton 0, Arsenal 0. Cucurella down the left-hand side, leaves it for Jakob Moder, driving towards the left-hand corner of the box. Cucurella again, level with the area, chips it back into the centre of the half, where it's laid up for Leandro Trossard. Looks to be winding up for a shot for a moment. Instead he plays it square to Gross. Now worked out to the right-hand side, and Veltman have switched play. Gross going down the right-hand side of the area, but the ball from Veltman overhit. Graham Potter scratches his head in that sort of irritated, I can't believe he just did that. And Arsenal have a goal kick, 0-0.
Yeah, and for once, there were players in there. There were players in there ready for it. 3, maybe even 4 if you count the fullback on this side. 4 players who were all waiting for delivery, and it's so frustrating when that delivery doesn't come. Looks like Arsenal are thinking about making a change. Arteta has probably got the better options on his bench.
Most certainly has. Thanks of Lacazette, of course, as a striker. Maitland-Niles, Pepe, of course, who scored plenty of goals against Brighton in recent times. Nicola Pepe, he's an option as well. All cleared up to the halfway line, and Pepe is, in fact, I'm a soothsayer, he's about to come on. He's just taken off his top, and he'll be on next for Arsenal. An hour gone on TalkSport, 0-0, but Arsenal have possession and drive forward with Partey up to the edge of the over, intercepted by Lallana, sliding in this time, and Cucurella now darting over the halfway line, runs past our commentary position. Moder goes on his outside, but he's found Leandro Trossard now passes out left to Moder. He works it back to Dan Burn into the centre of the Arsenal half for Lallana, and now Lewis Dunk on the halfway line, looks for Dan Burn once again, passes along the floor to Moder, very patient once again from Brighton, but they're all inside the Arsenal half, bar the keeper Sanchez. Trossard looking at Burn, who's made a run forward, but that was comfortably intercepted by White, and Tomiyasu has got pressure from Trossard, and he's forced out, throw into Brighton, taken quickly by Jakob Moder. What are you looking at, Alvin Martin?
I'm looking at nobody being up there. They've got the ball, good possession, Brighton, but no forward on the edge of the box. You want to see a blue and white striped shirt sitting there saying, right, give me the ball and join me, and somebody else can join me. But that's the one part of the game, Dance, that I do get a little bit frustrated, because he gets so many things right here, but without that you've not really got a functioning forward line.
Ball's back with Robert Sanchez, who passes out to Dan Burn. Ball got stuck under his feet a little bit, but he still managed to work the ball down the touchline, and the ball's out of play for a throw. It's currently Brighton 0, Arsenal 0 on 62 minutes. For the latest odds, just head to Betfair, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage, where right now you can get Brighton to win at 5-2, Arsenal to win at 23-10, and the draw at 11-10. That's all thanks to Betfair, where you'll get no cash-out suspensions on match odds in football. That's 18+. BeGambleAware.org. Nicola Pepe, who I mentioned, like scoring goals against Brighton, is on, and Odegaard is off. Alvin Martin, first change of the day.
I think he has been disappointing, Odegaard. You know, I think that you can make a case for Smith Rowe, for Saka certainly staying on, Aubameyang obviously. So it was the obvious way to go forward for Arsenal.
So Pepe is on, but a long ball downfield. Tomiyasu and Cucurella are both going for the ball, and it drops out of play, and the assistant on this near side gives the throw to the Gunners. So a busy old day will be reflected upon after this commentary and game day your verdict with Dan Windle and Gabby Igbonlahor. 03717223344 is the telephone number. Get through to talk to Gabby about Leeds United winning a game of Premier League football, amongst other things.
Oh, great ball.
Aubameyang away for Arsenal through the centre of the field. Byrne gets across, gets a foot in, still drops at the edge of the area for Pepe, slips it down the left hand side of the box for Tierney. Tierney hits it against Veltman, and it goes behind for an Arsenal corner away to our right hand side. 0-0.
What a great challenge on the edge of the box there. Aubameyang looks like he's going to pull the trigger, and Dan Byrne comes in with that big long leg of his, whips it away from him. They keep possession, and it's good defending again by Brighton. I thought maybe Tierney could have looked at the far post. He went to drill it across the face, which I understand, but there was a little dink onto the far post for him.
Two Arsenal players out on that corner flag. Smith Rowe now runs away. It'll be Pepe to strike it, left-footed, just on as a substitute. Plays it into the near post. He'll get it hit back to him by Veltman. He's now level with the edge of the Brighton penalty area. Smith Rowe just behind him. Smith Rowe drives a ball into the box. Sanchez comes out and drops it, but it's thumped away. He's collided with Gabriel. There's a Brighton player down there as well, and the physios are going to have to come on and attend to two players that are down. Gabriel in some distress, and there's a Brighton player there. I'm not sure whether it's Dunk or Duffy that's down, but the physios are out. 0-0 between Brighton and Arsenal with 25 minutes to go on TalkSport.
Yeah, he hasn't looked 100% comfortable with that sort of ball, that's driven in rather than floated in, Sanchez. He's come for it. Really should have left it alone. He had one about 10 minutes ago as well that he came for. He's clattered into his own defender there. But look, Arsenal are looking like they're coming out of the shell a bit more now. And I just feel that when they move forward, they propel people into dangerous areas quicker than Brighton do.
Yeah, it was Dunk that went down. Gabriel's back on his feet, but Lewis Dunk is still receiving treatment right in front of his goalkeeper Sanchez.
He doesn't stay down very often.
Well, he's back on his feet now.
I mean, 9 games in 4 years he's missed, Premier League games. That is incredible for someone of his age, to have that sort of consistency.
It's Matt Holland-esque, isn't it? Yeah. Matt was like that when he was at Ipswich Town. Barely missed a game, and Charlton. TalkSport's own Matt Holland. Plenty of live commentaries to come in the week. Lincoln Sunderland in the Papa John's Tuesday night from 7 on TalkSport 2. Czech Republic Wales on Friday night on TalkSport 2. Nigel Adley and Dean Saunders. And then Saturday we've got the Manchester Derby in the WSL from Leigh Sports Village. I'll be with former Leeds forward Lucy Ward for that one on TalkSport at 1:30. Andorra against England, 7:45 Saturday night. Adrian, Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearson, Sol Campbell, all ex-England defenders, well not Jim, will be your commentary team. And then more WSL on Sunday, the 10th of October. That's Arsenal-Everton.
Jim would have had to play in the middle of a 3.
Is that what he told you?
Blacker height.
Alvin Martin, Jim Proudfoot's life coach, by the sounds of it. Pulls back with Arsenal's goalkeeper Ramsdale. We played nearly 3/4 of this game. Still we await the deadlock to be broken on TalkSport. Brighton have the possession back with Lanana. Swings it out to the right hand side for Veltman. Trossard's the only man in the box. It goes infield. Byrne is beaten to it by Bukayo Saka, but Saka knew Byrne was there. You heard the exclamation of Alvin Martin as the shoulder barge went in from Dan Byrne on Saka.
It's sort of when two players go for the ball like that, if they can clash heads and you think, oh, that could be nasty, but no, it was shoulder to shoulder, as you said. Just a sense one goal is going to be enough in this game, Dan, don't you?
Yep, without question. We are at the midway point of the second half. Trossard for Brighton. trying to get away from challenges, skips past Partey like he wasn't there, works it out to Cucurella, left hand side, level with the area, the cross to the far post, it's kept in play by Lallana, overhead kick from Mopai is well over, ambitious but worth the go I guess from Neil Mopai, who's in excellent form for Brighton, but it is a goal kick to Arsenal away to our left, and it stays 0-0 on TalkSport.
Well, there aren't many Brighton players, I don't think, in the team who would be capable of executing that overhead kick, but he is one of them. And I've seen him score some, really special goals. That one, fair way off target, but they did at least get people in the box there when that delivery came in from Cucurella on this left side.
He's also, along with Wilfried Zaha, the best presser of the ball in the Premier League so far this season. Neil Mopai. Dunk, who's recovered from that clash with his own goalkeeper, works the ball back to Robert Sanchez. Sanchez will drive the ball out to this near touchline for Dan Burn. Gets it from Dunk and give it back to Sanchez. They were drawing Arsenal attackers out so they could work the ball back to their keeper. 0-0.
Thought maybe the press was on there from Arsenal. They could have gone again.
Gross in a bit of space on the far side of the field, the Brighton right. Further out to Veltman, trying to get away from Tierney, goes to ground, and the referee has blown the whistle. He initially let play go, but he felt that Tierney was holding on to Veltman, and Brighton have a free kick. 0-0, nearly 69 minutes played at the Amex, and a chance to work the ball into the box here, but as you've said, Albin Martin, there's not many who come forward in support of Neil Mopai. Some Arsenal players being called back to the bench. Alexandre Lacazette, I think, is going to be on shortly. The Frenchman will be Arsenal's second change in a few short moments. Meantime, Brighton have worked the free kick back into their own half. To Sanchez, the keeper. Cucurella again has stayed forward, and the diagonal ball trying to seek him out. Tomiyasu heads away for Arsenal. Saka on the scene first to keep the ball away from Brighton players. Partey brings the ball down, tries to turn away from Lallana, did well actually Thomas Partey, very cool and calm and collected, but the ball up to halfway, intercepted by Shane Duffy, stopping Pepe getting away down the Arsenal left. Duffy plays it in field to Lallana. Now Trossard 30 yards out, trying to slide it through to Mopai. Half cleared by Arsenal. Byrne works the ball out to Cucurella left hand side. The cross to the edge of the area, held up by Byrne. Trossard takes a touch, it's deflected. Claims for handball all around us. John Moss is unmoved. Ball's out of play for a Brighton throw rather on this near side. 0-0.
I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to do as a defender these days. The Brighton fans, all right. I understand they're calling for that. They're appealing, but if that was given against them, they would go potty.
Yeah, and Bukayo Saka's arms were in front of his chest, and the ball kind of hit his chest and his arm. Nowhere near a penalty. But I'm not sure even whether VAR and Chris Kavanagh had a cursory look at Stockley Park at that one. 20 minutes to go on TalkSport. Game day, another exclusive Premier League commentary for you, and the game day your verdict phone in to follow. Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Arsenal 0. Brighton in possession on halfway with Jakob Moder, hits the ball against Partey, trying to chase after his own flick. Tomiyasu under pressure, puts the ball out of play for a Brighton throw.
See, the reason he had to put that out for a throw is that Mopai was, willing enough to go to the keeper and stop that ball back to Ramsdale. So in the end, he's the one who's won that throw-in for them.
Like for like switch for Arsenal. It's the end of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's night, and he's taken off the captain's armband. He's going to hand it over to Alexandre Lacazette as he comes on for these last 20 minutes or so on TalkSport 2. 13 goals last season for Lacazette, but yet to get past 2 this season. Brighton in possession, left hand side, approaching the edge of the area. Trossard up against Partey, works the ball back into the centre of the Arsenal half for Dunk. Early pass across to Shane Duffy, who can drive forward 15 yards to the right hand corner of the area, flicks it out to Veltman at the byline, drives it into the near post and put behind by Lokonga for a Brighton corner at the north stand end. A bit of belief around this stadium, Alvin Martin.
Yeah, I think this next 18 minutes up to 90 is going to be very important. If they can now just pin Arsenal down, put a bit of pressure on it, get good delivery from these corners. With the height they've got, you know, you would expect them to certainly cause a problem, if not score.
Well, they're doing something different now. Gross has been taking all the corners up to now, but Mark Cucurella has gone across to that far side where the east stand meets the north for a left-footed in-swinger. Lifted up towards Dunk, heads it up in the air, might drop on the 6-yard box. Ramsdale punches, can't get it clear, and the ball's gone out of play. It's been indicated by in fact, an offside flag goes up against a Brighton player, so Arsenal will have a free kick inside their own 6-yard box. 0-0, and we've got 17 minutes to play on TalkSport.
See that corner there, you know, in the end, there's a lot of players now, a lot of teams up and down the country, and this has been for the last few years, who whip a ball in, they whip it in, they want to hit a specific little window. And a lot of the time, I think fans get frustrated, I get frustrated when they're hitting that first man. That time, he just stuck it in, just far enough away from the keeper so the keeper's not going to come and says, go on, go and attack you. You know, that's the sort of ball I would have liked. Just hang it up there, let me get a run on it, and I'll win it. And if I don't score, I'm going to knock it down into a dangerous area. Sometimes I think the delivery, is over-pressurised.
Earlier today, Manchester United and Everton shared the points live on TalkSport. That was 1-1. Andros Townsend, TalkSport's Andros Townsend with the Everton equaliser. Wolves beat Newcastle, still no win for Steve Bruce. Maybe Toon fans want to talk about that with Gabby Egbondahor and Dan Windle on game day. Your verdict? Leeds getting their first win of the season against Watford, and Burnley still can't win at home, and Norwich still can't win, period.
Getting his first card out. I'm surprised at that, Jonathan Moss. I thought,
and it's Neil Mopai that's gone into the referee's notebook for a challenge on Gabriel. Just a little late, but that could be on the count-up. There could be a number of offences that Jonathan Moss has got in mind, and it is a yellow card for the Brighton number 9.
Fair enough. Nothing malicious, but I thought he could have kept it in his pocket, but there you go.
Well, it's taken him a long. It's taken him 74 minutes to book a player. John Moss.
I thought we were going to get through 90 minutes without seeing a yellow card. That would be lovely.
And in conditions like this, that's quite unusual. Normally you see a few misplaced challenges that aren't meant, but because players slide in, they catch players in a way they normally wouldn't. Brighton 0, Arsenal 0. Lacazette trying to find Pepe on the right-hand side, who's just switched flanks for a moment with Saka, but it's won back by Brighton. Cucurella, early ball into the centre of the half. Good slide in by Lokonga. Was that classed as a pass back? No, says John Moss. He just slid in to divert it away from any Brighton players who were moving up on his outside.
He has patrolled that line. Oh,
lovely ball over halfway, setting Smith Rowe away. Smith Rowe to the edge of the area, now being closed down by Duffy. Gets the shot away and it's blocked behind by the leg of Sanchez for an Arsenal corner. Lovely break, setting Emil Smith Rowe away, but it only ends up being a corner for Arsenal. 0-0.
Well, once he's through, he's got a lot to do. I've got to say Smith Rowe, but he goes and goes. The defender does ever so well. She just pushes him wider than he wants to go, and that means that the angle is always against Smith Rowe, and it's a fairly easy save for the keeper then, Sanchez.
Saka was calling for a square ball across the area, which didn't come. Pepe with the resulting corner for Arsenal, headed down by Duffy. It'll drop inside the area. Mopai lifts it clear. Cucurella's giving chase along with Smith Rowe. Alexis McAllister will be on shortly for Brighton. Cucurella trying to step inside Smith Rowe. Looked like he was being pulled back. That looks like a free kick, but no one's interested in terms of the officials.
No.
And the ball's back with Ramsdale. You're not having that, Alvin?
I'm not having that. No, it's a good game now, isn't it? It's 0-0. It's a very good 0-0. Let's just say. Now, you just get a funny feeling there could be a twist in the tail here. Both sides are starting to be more adventurous now in the way they're approaching the game.
So into Brighton, and Mikel Arteta's giving a lot of verbal to the assistant on this near side. So it's been taken by Cucurella. He'll get it back from Moda. Works it infield to Mopai. Mopai, ambitious drive from 25 yards out. Didn't get hold of it. Snakes wide and goes behind for an Arsenal goal kick. 14 minutes to go on TalkSport here at the Amex Stadium. Ian Dancer and the former West Ham and England centre-half Alvin Martin with you. Ahead of game day, your verdict, and it's still 0-0 between Brighton and Arsenal. Alexis McAllister will be on at the next break in play. Ball's worked out to Lacazette as Arsenal come forward. He's got players to right and left. Goes for Nicola Pepe. Trying to go on the outside of Dan Burn. Byrne again stuck a long foot out to get the ball half clear, but Tomiyasu first to pick it up for Arsenal. Partey, ball up to the edge of the area. Lacazette slides in Pepe right hand side of the box, and the cross is deflected by Dan Byrne, and back off Pepe for a goal kick to Brighton, and that will allow the change to be made. And Alexis McAllister, don't let the name fool you, he's Argentinian, he's coming on for Jakub Moder. You're listening to Brighton 0, Arsenal 0 on TalkSport 2 with WeBuyAnyCar.com. Get a quote in 60 seconds at WeBuyAnyCar.com. What have you made of Jakub Moder's performance today, Alvin Martin? He's the man coming on.
Industrious. I think that's the way you'd probably explain the display by Brighton. They you know what you're going to get with Brighton now. They put you under pressure, they press, they play high intensity. The sharpness of the team in terms of what they've got up front needs a little bit of investment, I think, is the only thing that's going to improve that. I don't think you can do any more there than he has done on the training pitch, but you just need one extra body in terms of the quality he's got up there. 12 minutes to go on TalkSport. Arsenal are 0-0 at Brighton, and they're coming forward, Arsenal, with Pepe down this near side, the right, and he's won a corner kick off Cucurella in front of those Arsenal fans. So encouragement now for the away support as Graham Potter deep in conversation with his coaching staff. Pepe ready to take this corner kick. Be a left-footed in-swinger from Pepe. Lots of Arsenal players at the far post. White and Gabriel are deep at the far side of the area from where this corner's being struck by Pepe. Looks deep to the far post. Kept in play by White. Ambitious overhead kick from Gabriel. White trying to keep it in play, and it's actually gone for another corner. It was Shane Duffy that touched it behind. It was White as well who played a little 1-2 off him there. It was really bright play by White there. It's kept the pressure on. It's been a gutsy performance by Arsenal. You don't really associate the word gutsy, do you, with Arsenal? But this has been a gutsy performance by them. 0-0. 11 minutes to go, and another corner for Arsenal. They're taking it short, and it's Pepe, left-hand corner of the box, rolls it back to Thomas Partey. He's got support from Lokonga, gives it back to Partey in the centre of the Brighton half. Does he switch plays right? No, he goes up to the edge of the area, dummy by Lacazette. Might break here for Ben White, trying to play the ball into the area, but it bobbles through to Lewis Dunk, and anywhere will do for Brighton just to get it clear, and it's a throw to Arsenal on halfway, 0-0. It is the sort of game that it'd be hard on either side, wasn't it? If a goal was to go in now and they were to leave this game with nothing, because both of them, you can't fault the efforts of both teams, that is for sure. Remember, if Brighton were to win, they would go level on points with Chelsea at the top of the Premier League. Only goal difference would keep them behind Chelsea, who beat Southampton by 3-1 today at Stamford Bridge. That's where Adrian Durham was hosting Game Day Live here on TalkSport. The best place to be on a Saturday afternoon for the round the ground service. Volleyed clear for Brighton by the goal kick of Sanchez. Mopai knocks it down for Trossard. Trossard goes for goal, but it's a comfortable save for Aaron Ramsdale. It was straight at him, and he could just bend down and collect it into his chest. He'd be disappointed with that. He'd be disappointed. Trossard's better than that. And it fell lovely for him, didn't it? The ball was flicked on by McAllister, just laid back with his head from Morpay, and he's got the whole goal to aim at there. Now McAllister works it left to Cucurella, left-hand corner of the box, across the face of goal. Good push out from Ramsdale, drops at the edge of the box. Fired goal was by Gross, and it deflects off Lokonga, and behind for a Brighton corner. And now more belief from the home fans in the North Stand to our left. That is an excellent save by Ramsdale. Absolutely top draw save. Because it wasn't the power, it comes through loads of bodies, and he had to wait to see if it was going to get a nick off anyone. He had to go at the last second and made a really good save low down to his right. So Pascal Gross back on corner duties for Brighton at the North Stand end, a right wing corner. All the centre halves are up from the back, of course. Nobody stayed forward for Arsenal. They're all back inside their own penalty area as well. 9 minutes to go. 0-0 on TalkSport. Brighton's corner then. Byrne inside the 6-yard box, trying to make a nuisance of himself in front of Ramsdale. In it comes, headed towards goal by Dunk, but Arsenal players get it clear, and suddenly there's a break on. It's 4-on-3 if Saka plays the right ball. Lacazette is caught just shy of halfway, and that'll be a free kick and a yellow card issued by John Moss. It's an Arsenal free kick just shy of the halfway line, and I think it was Pascal Gross, or was it Veltman? Veltman who committed the challenge on Lacazette. Taking one for the team there, Alvin Martin. And that's what you would say anyway. Well, he hasn't got it out for the foul such as it was obviously intentionally designed to stop the move flowing. I think it stopped raining. He has.
There you go. It's the first time for everything. Solly March is getting stripped and ready to come on for Brighton. We've got 8 minutes of normal time to play on Talk Sport. It's still 0-0 between Brighton and Arsenal, but there's a winner in this game for either side. McAllister, just on as a substitute, plays the ball out to the left where Cucurella, who's been such a busy player all game for Brighton, works it back in field to the Argentine. Now he squares it to allow Duffy to move into the Arsenal half. Turn round the corner by Gross. Neat ball. Veltman plays the ball back down the right-hand side of the box. Gross goes again, but Lokonga goes with him. Gross, little Cruyff turn to try and buy some space, but the cross hits Emile Smith-Rowe, who can bring the ball clear elegantly for Arsenal. But then he turns into trouble. Mope and McAllister between them try and win it back, and a good sliding challenge from Lokonga ends up winning a throw for Arsenal, and it goes out of play. And will that mean the change is made now by Graham Potter? Indeed it is, and Pascal Gross is the man that's coming off to allow Solly March to enter the fray. Solly March nearing 10 years here, over 200 appearances for Brighton and Hove Albion, and Gross has gone off on the far side of the field. So about 7 minutes for Solly March to try and make an effect here. 83 minutes gone, Brighton 0, Arsenal 0.
I think now coming into this stage of the game, you forgive Arsenal saying, you know what, this has been a tough game for us. 0-0, we'll take the point and we'll go. But you also think that if they are going to move forward, if they're going to progress, these are the games, the tight games, and a win here would get them back up into the mix, wouldn't it? Because they're still mid-table. For Arsenal, that's not good enough.
Well, if things stay as they are, Brighton would be in 5th on 14 points, 2 off Chelsea at the top. Arsenal back down in mid-table. They would be 9th on 10 points as things stand. Brighton in possession though, with Lallana. Works up to the edge of the area, almost broke through for McAllister, but he couldn't ride the last challenge and break the lines and get into the box. And now Arsenal clear with Smith-Rowe. Out to the left-hand side, and Saka. But the ball in field is put out of play for a Arsenal throw down the left-hand side.
Credit to both sets of players here. They're still going for it. Whenever the ball's turned over, you see them flood, certainly of Arsenal shirts, yellow shirts, going forward looking for the winner. And I think Brighton are as well. They're not settling for the draw, so it's been a good game, a good watch in that respect.
Pascal Gross getting a round of applause by the supporters directly beneath us as he makes his way round the touchline to the substitutes bench. Another good shift from the Brighton number 13. Partey tries to play a through ball for Smith-Rowe, but it's intercepted by Adam Lallana. Plays the ball up to halfway. A lovely flick from Trossard. Gets Veltman away down the right-hand side, and there's blue and white shirts forward here, but Veltman goes alone and strikes it straight at Aaron Ramsdale. Another chance goes begging for Brighton, 0-0.
Yes, I think, looking at it now, it's still I think it's still on. Both sets of players, and on that right-hand side there was space. They are throwing people forward now, but obviously when you throw people forward, if you turn the ball over, somebody gives the ball away recklessly, then it leaves you really vulnerable at the back. And now I think for the first time in the game, both teams are looking a little vulnerable at the back.
Solly March, in actual fact, who drove into the area there to have the final effort. 0-0, Brighton and Arsenal on TalkSport with 5 to play. Brighton still pushing for a winner. Here's McAllister in the centre of the Arsenal half. Options right and left. He's going to go for goal himself. It smacks into the back of Gabriel. Comes out to Lallana, who drives it out to this near side, and Cucurella tries to bend it round Tomiyasu. Hits the Japanese fullback, but comes back to Cucurella. Now Bird up to the edge of the area. McAllister floats it to the far post. Headed back at Cook's goal. Mopai won't get there. Brilliant save, Ramsdale. And then Trossard gets the shot away, and it's blocked behind for a corner. Arsenal hanging on here. What a save, Ramsdale.
Well, they're hanging on, and this ball here, actually, I think again in the end, it's a lovely right-handed save. And then I think it was Dan Bain and Trossard got in each other's way. Corner comes in, but you've got to give credit to the side, to both sides. Brighton are going for it. Listen to the crowd. They think the winning's there.
Corner on the far side of the field. It'll be a left-footed corner kick for Brighton. Up go the heads, and it's headed wide by Duffy from a standing start, and he thumps the turf in frustration, feeling he should have done better with that. He didn't climb, he just let the ball come to him, but it went the wrong side of the post, and Arsenal have a goal kick. 0-0 it stays on TalkSport.
Dancy knows he should do better. He hasn't got to generate any power. All he's got to do is just direct it. I don't think he expected a free header 10 yards out, and that's what he had.
Sponsors have just given the Man of the Match award here to Mark Cucurella. I don't think many would argue with that tonight. Brighton 0, Arsenal 0. March wins the ball on halfway for the Seagulls. Plays the ball back in field to McAllister. Cucurella's there again on the left-hand corner of the box. He uses him. Cucurella up against Tomiyasu. Rolls it across the face of the 18-yard line. Mopai trying to keep the ball alive, but he's been dispossessed. Arsenal have it back. There's a player down. Saka's injured just inside the Brighton half of the field, but away come Arsenal with 10 minutes. Nicola Pepe driving past Dan Burn, plays a reverse pass looking for Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe goes down under pressure from Duffy. No penalty, says John Moss, defiantly plays his arms wide to say no pen. Goal kick Brighton, 0-0 it stays, just over 2 minutes to play, and Saka is going to need some treatment because he's been down for some time just by the centre circle.
That's right, and Smith Rowe knows as well. He's down. It was a long run, long distance run, but he waited for the touch, the contact. He went down. You could tell by his reaction. He didn't complain at all. But I can understand why somebody would actually go down. He got his body in between the ball and the defender, but there was hardly any contact there, and he went to ground. Smith Rowe must be tired now. He had covered a lot of ground.
Well, it may be a bit of cramp for the England youngster. Ainsley Maitland-Niles is being readied. I think that may well be for Bukayo Saka, who's been sat down for a good couple of minutes now, just to the left of the centre circle. So don't forget, the Game Day Your Verdict phone-in is next up on Talk Sport, with Dan Windle and Gabby Eggbon-Lahore taking your calls. 03717 223344, and then it's Fight Night from Wembley with Adam Cattrall and Gareth A. Davis. David Avanesian's European title fight topping the bill at Wembley, and we bring you all the action live from 9 o'clock tonight on Talk Sport. And don't forget Weekend Sports Breakfast back tomorrow with Natalie Sawyer and Tony Cascarino from 6 a.m. reviewing all of today's action. Saka is limping off to the far side of the field so that Maitland-Niles can come onto the field for this last minute of normal time and whatever John Moss elects to add on as minimum stoppage time here on Talk Sport at the Amex Stadium.
Well, we've all had value for money, that is for sure. It's been a really entertaining game. No goals, but it's one that I think you didn't know which way it's going to go. It's had a little bit of everything apart from goals.
Mopai trying to pick up the ball for Brighton midway point of the Arsenal half. Now Trossard. He's got Cucurella to his left, but he goes up to the edge of the area. Mopai trying to tee it up for Trossard once more. Loads of yellow Arsenal shirts back. It's worked out to Cucurella in space. Drives it across the face of goal. Good defending at the near post by Ben White to get it clear for Arsenal. And now Pepe on the charge trying to bring it clear, but Cucurella sticks his foot in to win it back. But good work from Pepe, and now he's lost out. Brighton have it again. Lallana finds Trossard. Trossard goes down under pressure from Partey. Free kick as we move into 3 minutes of minimum stoppage time. A yellow card for Thomas Partey for his part in that challenge on Trossard, and Brighton have a free kick.
I didn't think it was a foul. I'm watching a replay of it now.
Trossard stayed down like he's been poleaxed.
I'm watching a replay of it now, but yeah, I don't think there's anything in it.
Well, he got a yellow card for it. Trossard is still writhing around in agony on the deck, but the referee John Moss has said to the physios, no, stay where you are, he's all right. And it will be a Brighton free kick. Just caught in the face, it would seem, Trossard by the arm of Thomas Partey. Got a yellow card for that, the Arsenal number 5. So it's a free kick. We're in that first minute of 3 that have been added on by John Moss here at the Amex. Still 0-0 between Brighton and Arsenal on TalkSport, but this free kick midway point of the Arsenal half to the left of centre.
This will be cruel to lose a game at this stage of your Arsenal.
As the rain starts to hammer down again in Sussex. In it comes from McAllister. Good delivery. Bounces at the far post and goes wide, and there's more claims for a penalty kick. Goal kick is the decision from John Moss. Duncan Duffy were up there trying to mix it as the free kick came in. But on we go, and John Moss is just saying to Aaron Ramsdale, wait before you take the goal kick. I want VAR to take a look, but it may be a short-lived look.
It was nearly the perfect delivery. You want to swing the ball in so people can attack it, and the keeper's got to wait to see if anyone gets a touch on him, but you aim really inside the post. Unfortunately for Brighton, that was outside the post. If it had been inside the post and nobody gets a touch, there's a real good chance it's going to go in anyway.
Well, VAR is taking a look for a possible penalty for a foul on Lewis Dunk, who was at the far post.
Well, I tell you what, is it Gabriel?
He's saying no, not a clear and obvious error. If it was indeed a foul, just a coming together, and it is merely a goal kick for Arsenal. We've played 2 minutes of the minimum 3 that have been added on. We'll see just how much extra is allowed by John Moss for that VAR check. Meanwhile, Dunker's chested the ball out of play. Arsenal wants to take the throw quickly, but Dunk doing that professional thing and keeping the ball away from the Arsenal players. But it will be a throw to Arsenal level with the edge of the Brighton penalty area. Chance for them to win it still, the Gunners. Thrown in by Tomiyasu to Pepe, but then he loses out and Brighton will have a throw. How eager are they to get the ball down the other end of the field?
Been steady, I suppose, Tomiyasu, but no better than that. You know,
I would say he's a centre-half more than a right back, I think.
Yeah. Not sure. Like I said, he's had a steady game. It has been a steady game for Arsenal, hasn't it?
And they still have possession, but they've lost out, and Lallana just lobs the ball downfield, asking Mopai to give chase. Gabriel had lost flight of the ball, and Solly March has picked the ball up centre of the Arsenal half. Goes to his right for Veltman. Last chance maybe for Brighton. Worked into the box over the head of Mopai. Drops at the far post for Kukureya, who can keep the ball in play on this near touchline. Faced up by Tomiyasu. Works it back to Dan Burn. Burn thinking about a cross, but instead Kukureya goes infield to McAllister. McAllister loses out. Pepe is fouled. And the referee waits play on because Smith Rowe is on a fantastic burst towards halfway, and that's when John Moss blows the full-time whistle, and it's all square in the end for Brighton and Arsenal. So Brighton aren't going to go joint top of the Premier League with Chelsea after this game, but another impressive performance, keeping out one of the Premier League's elite at the Amex Stadium.